Hey guys, welcome back to the Casual NBA Fanatic podcast. LeBron James has been phenomenal. This is age 41, year 23 for this guy, and we're seeing him battle a Houston squad, which was the most heavily favored series going in Houston's favor going into this playoff run. And just the first playoff topic that I quickly want to cover is just how exceptional this guy has actually been. And again, this isn't overrating anyone. Obviously, you look at the stats and you won't say, this isn't the prime LeBron in terms of the production numbers that this guy's putting up. But the influence that this guy still has on the game is something that we probably will never see ever again to the style at which he's doing it because of his age, the experience, and that veteran feel that he's actually bringing to the game. And yes, as well, we can overrate the fact that this is a first round series. This isn't him in a conference finals battling out or even in the final series. But this is a first round where he is, again, defying the odds for another time in his career. And look, Houston might come back well and truly to win the series, and they should be. And I'm sure the odds will be fairly even from now on for the rest of the series, even though LA do have a 2-0 lead. And we don't know the timeline of when Austin will be back. I think he's doubtful to be back at least by game 3. Luka, we also don't know the story for. But the fact is, this LA team has rallied up in a huge way. And a lot of credit doesn't just go to the role guys. I know guys like Luke Kennard, DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart, Jackson Hayes, these are guys that deserve a ton of credit. Rui Hachimura, but also JJ Redick and the coaching staff for LA for actually prepping up these guys to be ready for a team that they have significant athletic disadvantages against. In theory, Kevin Durant should be the best player on the floor. They absolutely destroyed him for 9 turnovers in that second half. Only 12 looks in game 2 for KD himself. So this is just absolute credit to LA as an organization, which is something that we don't usually say for the Lakers, but also just the veteran leadership stemming from what LeBron brings as the team captain for this team. Now, first 2 games, again, only 2 games, but they still both games in LA, and LeBron is putting on an absolute show in front of the crowd. 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. Again, 49% from the field, 43% on his threes. And he's taking 8 free throw attempts a game and only 2.5 turnovers a game, even though he is orchestrating just so much on the floor. And I just want to quickly just go into what's making LeBron so great here. And basically, it's the ability to still control the tempo and just being able to run sustainable offense, which bases around his ability to literally pressure the rim and just attain easy paint touches back-to-back continuously. And when he's in the paint, and again, when he's got his back to the basket, whether it's from the elbow, the three-point line, out of the post, this is a guy that makes the most basic table set reads with absolute ease. And in terms of just being able to actually set up reads out of action as well, out of their horn sets, out of their stack actions, this guy never misses a read. He has the over-the-top advantages. He has the strength. Again, he's the greatest skip passer that this game has ever seen to be able to throw these cross-court heaves. In transition, he's actually juicing their leads as well. And in terms of just being able to run sustainable offense that is geared around the ability to penetrate the paint, the most efficient looks in the NBA, this is where this guy is making his money. And he's being you'd even say he's been a bit of a semi-post-up type of fulcrum in this sort of series. Again, he's not athletically imposing in terms of the foot speed advantages against these guys. Again, he's paired up against guys like Tari Eason, Amen Thompson. A guy like Jabari Smith can actually shift with him relatively decently in terms of the explosiveness side. But when this guy gets to the rim, it's the strength, the upper body size, and the over-the-top advantages that are getting it done for him as a scorer. And then they all play into his ability to make these really high leverage, basic, but really nice, some of these high leverage reads that he's making. And then also with LeBron, it's the maturity. The game is simple for him. Obviously in today's day and age, the NBA is so skilled right now. You have so much skill and talent on the floor, so much athleticism as well in a series like this against Houston. But this guy's ability to literally just make the game as simple as it is and just stick to the principle of just matchup hunting on every offensive play, that is what is giving the Lakers their best set and best chance of offense in the half court, which is supposed to be their biggest strength. And without Austin and Luka, the fact that you can just go towards LeBron James to be your half court initiator, that is just the ultimate luxury. And they're producing really high quality offensive sets right now, and it's to do with their ability to hunt matchups. Whether it's Luke Kennard on the perimeter trying to do what he can against torching bigs, but they use Luke Kennard as a screener and a ton of action. That's where his offensive value as a DHO initiator can also be used, but also just the matchup hunting in general, right? LeBron, he's got power advantages and physical advantages against Amen Thompson, Josh Okogie, Reed Shepherd, Aaron Holiday, Kevin Durant, even Tari Eason in the series, who he's comfortable going against with that crab dribble from the perimeter, from the arc. And in terms of just being able to make money out of the post, like, he's creating so much. He forces those double reads. And again, it's just basic offense that this guy's initiating. And it's what makes LeBron so exceptional. It's the maturity to just slow down the game and not hunt these overly exceptional types of looks and reads, not hunting towards purely the pull-up shooting. This guy's just creating balanced offense, and it's so beautiful to see at 41 years old. He's one of the best in terms of just spamming half-court sets as well. When something works, this guy is going to rinse and repeat the action continuously, and it's because he can. Like, you can't actually disturb his handle. You can't disturb his decision-making process because you can't disrupt his handle or make him uncomfortable. The guy's too big and strong and coordinated, still at 41. So when we see LA, like, they're just continually spamming set actions, again, from the elbows, again, their horns and stack actions they love to run. And he just strangleholds the pace of the game to a level that probably is top 3 in the NBA. Like, we don't see, like, maybe except for Nikola Jokic, he might be the greatest in the, like, the best in the NBA in terms of, like, literally just holding the pace. Jokic, Luka, and it literally might be LeBron next because his frame is that strong and he's that methodical the way he actually anticipates and projects the game to go when he's on the floor. And that's where the advantages of his frame will always help him out as long as he is still in the league. And that's why he's purely unwavered by the stunning double teams that Houston will throw at him. And he's completely unfazed by any vertical athleticism that they throw from their weak side help. And these guys just absolutely tearing the game up in terms of just running simple, effective actions continuously. And it's so beautiful to watch. And that's where people talk about the supercomputer mind and IQ that LeBron has. It is pretty complex, obviously, what goes through his brain, but it all in all, like, it's pretty just down to earth, pretty simple. Everything he's doing. But it's just simplicity upon simplicity upon simplicity. And that is what has actually made LeBron's career during this more maturing age and phase of his career, you know, post the first stint in Cleveland and Miami, where he's just this either absurdly athletic monster or absurdly physical monster. When he brings more of the skill into it and more of the intellectual components into his game, when he came back to Cleveland, that is what has carried him. Just being able to run simple action, use his frame as much as he can and the skill that he does have, but do it in a really balanced mindset. And he's doing it again in year 23 as the number one option again at 41 years old. And then what's also great with LeBron, like, this is like top 3 most versatile guy in the NBA. I said this last year. I said Jason Tatum is the most versatile player in the NBA. LeBron is probably number 2, and then number 3 you might have like Jalen Williams from OKC. That list has changed up a bit more this year, especially with Tatum, obviously, with the injury. LeBron hasn't been as good as he was last year, obviously, and same with Jalen Williams. But in terms of just overall versatility, what he can do and what he is willing to do on the floor, I mean, he probably is the most versatile player in the NBA right now in terms of just at this minute and what he's currently doing. The two-way activity is absurd. We're not just talking about the pull-up shooting that he can sometimes bring to the game, the passing, the facilitation, again, pace holding, the rim pressure, being able to work out of the post, being an off-ball fulcrum as a screener and cutter. He can attack the glass somewhat. He's a great rebounder on the defensive side of the ball. But the two-way activity is exceptional. This is one of the best backline defenders in the NBA when he is playing with this surging intensity. And in terms of just swarming help continuously, again, on the weak side, coming out of the baseline, just playing the gap. The Lakers play some of the most stunning gap defense that you'll find in the NBA, again, when they are in this playoff intensity mode. And LeBron is one of the greatest in terms of just the timing, anticipation, the prediction of a ball handler's angles and the angles he's going to take. And again, the anticipation, be able to show and recover back to the corner. You won't find many guys better than LeBron at this point in time. And it's because he is super mobile, but he's also super intimidating. And he plays with this real swarming aggression when he is actually stunting at ball handlers. Again, as well, guy that covers space really efficiently as well as a stunter. And in terms of just game plan discipline and just the weak side superpowers that he brings on the back line, you won't find many better in the NBA and NBA history in general than LeBron James. He still brings the vertical athleticism. He can absorb physicality as well. Again, he covers that ground efficiently. He's just a nightmare when it comes to just plugging holes and offering that physical deterrence against those roll catches and those diving cuts, especially when the big, either it's DeAndre Ayton or Hayes, gets dragged out of the paint as well. He just plugs holes with impeccable timing every single possession down the floor. And Like Houston relies so much on those roll catches and those cuts to generate their attacks as well. That's where they try to weaponize their athleticism. When you have a guy that's literally just ahead of the game continuously, there isn't much you actually can do about that. And that's where the two-way versatility has really come in this series too. And then the last component I want to bring on, it's more of an intangible effect, but like the value of this dude's leadership and the value of his maturity, not just on the floor in terms of running action, but just the influence on those surrounding guys. Dude, Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard being your second and third best players in any first round series in the modern NBA in 2026, that is absurd. DeAndre Ayton, he's been really nice this series as well, just playing with the intensity that we actually probably would have had no hope for him during the first half of the regular season. Jackson Hayes, the ultimate energy bunny as the big guy coming off the bench. Bronny James is getting minutes. Rui Hachimura has been a really nice offensive machine in this series as that off-ball spot-up attacker. Super confident ripping closeouts now as well. Jake LaRavia just stepping up defensively as much as he can, just making connective reads. Like, you won't find another guy in the NBA that can actually lead a squad of really, really, really mediocre, poor talent, basically, and literally take 2 games at home at his age. Like, again, in NBA history, you're not going to find any talent that can do that. And he's the ultimate captain. He's been the ultimate captain for years, and people knock him on his leadership and the morale stuff that he can also have every now and then when the LA situation's pretty dull. But, I mean, this guy's the ultimate captain in sports history. And he's doing it again, age 41, and he's bringing the absolute confidence out of these guys to literally attack this first round and give them their best shot to actually get back Austin and Luka. Like, it's pretty amazing to watch. And when we talk about LeBron, and, as I look back at what I had as my top 100 players in the NBA ranking last year, it was a long ranking last year, but I had LeBron as the 6th best player in the NBA. And that's because I usually rate players more so on their ceiling and then also effects like the portability that they bring as well. Those are 2 major components for me. And then also just the season that LeBron had last year, he was one of the best players in the NBA. He's made a real MVP case for himself. Just absolutely tremendous, especially with everything going on in LA. But, like, the fact that people probably would doubt him as still a top 20 player in the NBA just off the production stats of this year, that's absurd. Because he walks into a playoff series and he's the clear number 1 option in a game like this. And he plugs in so many different holes for your team. And in terms of just the willingness, again, as a leader as well, like when Luka and Austin comes back, this guy's going to give up so much of the ball handling reins anyways. And he's going to put way more intensity into all of the other extraneous variable sort of actions. This guy's just still a superstar in the NBA. And it's hard to say he's really not even top 10 in the NBA when he's doing, like, putting up performances like this. I'd say he's around that 10 to 15 range just to be safe. But at 41 years old, in, again, an era where there's this much talent, like, again, it's small sample basketball that we are kind of grading him against, because when you're picking players for an entire 82, LeBron might not be in your top 15. Again, you probably wouldn't want LeBron leading your team through the full 82 plus playoffs, again, because of the durability factors as well and just how much he can actually exert himself game to game. But in terms of small sample basketball, and again, playoff basketball, if you're picking the players that you want in your team, like, this guy is for sure still top 10. The versatility does it, but also just the floor raising again. Like, he's upholding a really basic, effective, efficient offensive system. The leadership that he brings out of other guys, that is stuff that is invaluable to a team. And if this continues for the series and LA can actually pull this one out, it is going to be really hard to debate him at the end of the season outside of the top 10, really just based off this first round alone. Again, maybe a lot of this is nostalgia, but this is the best basketball player in NBA history. Again, I think Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player. I think he's the GOAT. But in terms of best and most talented, LeBron James as a talent is something we've never seen before. And in terms of sports history, like, maybe I'm not too familiar with a lot of other sports. I know Novak Djokovic is pretty exceptional with what he's doing with tennis. I don't think the demands of a guy like Tom Brady in his ages of his career really were anything like LeBron. So in terms of what LeBron's doing at his age, it's something no human has really ever done. In terms of taxing himself that much, keeping himself as chiseled and conditioned as he has, and keeping the skill relatively there for the modern NBA standards. It's crazy to watch, and he's been absolutely phenomenal. And that's really all I had to say for this episode. To be honest, I think my next episode will probably be about this Minnesota-Denver series, no matter how it turns. But no doubt the first storyline we had to hit off was just how exceptional this guy has been. And honestly, if they win this first round, I think I set up my Instagram, but this, like, it could be part of his GOAT case, to be honest. Like, especially if Luka and Austin don't come back, or Austin only comes back for, games, 4 or 5, whatever it is. It's exceptional to watch, and it's been the biggest storyline to me, and it's the thing that we have to appreciate right now, because it probably is the last time we see LeBron in a 1A option being able to perform at this level again. He's declined a lot from last year, and he's still able to pull this one. We'll see what happens. But I appreciate you guys for listening to this quick episode, and I'll catch you guys in the next one as we get into more playoff basketball.